Welcome everyone to the detailed look for the Sky Tour. Thank you so much for joining me. Mario Kart Tour is certainly buzzing right now. There's loads of content being brought to the channel. I can't thank you all enough for the support on the informational video that I put out on level 8. Hopefully that allows you all to prepare and settle in for the changes that are about to occur. I assure you we will get through them together and we will be better on the other side, no question about it. In fact, I was met by a pleasant surprise today, a high-end glider ticket in my daily selects. So that was certainly very nice. Now, when level 8 is expanded, all of those maxed out items that you have at level 7 will no longer be maxed out. So we will be seeing those super gliders, the premium normals, as well as all of the other items in those various other tiles that you may have maxed out. And it will be the slow but rewarding journey of going ahead and maximizing those once again in an optimal fashion so that we can gain access to high-end tickets once again. And what I'm really going to draw significant emphasis on in moving forward is the fact that level 8 is likely not the end game for Mario Kart Tour, correct? In approximately a year from now. It depends on how the ecosystem of the game develops, right? Think about this in terms of the amount of revenue that Mario Kart Tour is generating, and a lot of that is through the sales of paid packs, bundles. It's not just Gold Pass memberships, because if we look at the price scaling of how much money they can get from bundles, it only requires a very small percentage of the player base to be purchasing bundles to outweigh the value of all of those Gold Pass subscriptions, okay? So when those players have things fully maxed out and there's no longer lucrative packs to sell them unless it contains a brand new item, which was the case in the past so many tours, in many situations, that means that there is no pathway forward for the developers than to make a move such as this. And this is something that they can modulate. Look, they have the analytics at their disposal. We can only speculate and infer based on user activity from Team Rally, tokens that are collected, and through other such means that are available at our disposal. But the developers, they have all of the information. They can parse it out any way that they choose, and hopefully they're paying a very keen eye to seeing just how the player base reacts to the level 8 news, and they can make changes for the better. They can alleviate the task of maxing out these items. I remember last time they were very generous. Right around a year ago, they'd given out high-end level boost tickets just for a couple tours around the 1.5 year anniversary tour. The Mario Tour and the Yoshi Tour were very generous last year with the high-end tickets, and that really kind of helped to get players to acclimate. So give them your feedback if you so choose. Be professional and be kind and courteous, and they do listen. They may not act in a way that is according to our wishes. Don't we know a thing or two about that? But rest assured, I do believe that they are listening, and it at least factors into the consideration. But there are internal objectives and things that they surely must be putting a greater emphasis on than just what are the players saying. It's a compromise, right? And for a game to last and be successful, they need to stick to their principles, but also listen to the players and kind of come together, meet in the middle on some of these things. And that's a wonderful way to proceed forward. So that outlet is available to us all there. In terms of the tier shop, they will be giving us these high-end tickets for this tour and the next tour. Premium pricing, so it's plus 3K. Look, I would strongly recommend approaching this wisely, okay? Purchasing them all out is going to be leaking coin value from your account. That is coin value that could be used in turn to max out your daily selects to get them for market value prices, right? So if I were to buy all of these right here, that's 9K coins that I'd be leaking out in this week alone, which if we multiply that by 4, that's 36K coins that I could potentially be leaking out in terms of value. If you watch my resource masterclass, you would know that some tours, 36K coins, you can't even obtain that in a single tour. Although that was before today's challenge pipe, and some of the probability of those massive coin potentials in today's challenge pipe do augment what those numbers reflected of then, since the game is more friendly now than it was even, when was that? 8 or 9 months ago, which is remarkable. It's all great stuff. That's what we talk about here, right? But do keep in mind, I would only purchase these sparingly. So your best bet is going to be to purchase the driver ticket, but perhaps you might be looking more at, there's cases to make for all of them, and none of them at all. That all depends on your individual strategy. Certainly if you are a newer player and you still have access to these rows in the tier shop, since that is unlocked based on your tier number. So if you're really new, this might not even be accessible to you. I don't recall the exact threshold for when they do become accessible, but let's say if you've been around for between like 6 and 12 months, so that you do have access to these, but you don't have anything near maxing out for the daily selects for level 7, let alone level 8, then perhaps you'd be willing to leak this coin value. And everything is about leverage, right? You don't have to do everything in the perfectly optimal way, because once you really start to study this, and this is stuff that I will emphasize to a great extent in future content, but it's really hard to pinpoint what's truly optimal, because there's always silver linings to things that are suboptimal, and optimal things always have leaks. So as is the case in the level 8 discussion, where I pointed out how the ROI is likely going to drop once again to an all new low for your level up ticket conversion for scoring points in a race, then if you were to invest them all optimally and carry things just up to level 6, well, then you're accruing more overlap with lower scoring potential. So there is value to pushing all the way up to the maximum for a certain subset of drivers, and that's where we have to put all of the information together. It is a big jigsaw puzzle, and that's where the comments come in play, the Discord server comes in play, because there are certainly leaks to be had, even if you are looking at things reasonably well. So things may seem intimidating at the surface, but once we open the bridge to communication, and we all learn from each other here. That's what it's all about. I learned from you folks just like you folks learned from me, and that's part of why we're doing this here, right? So anyway, let's go into the value of the pipe. Nice little aside there. And once again, thank you so much for the support on that recent content. So Mario Aviator, right? Dash Ring, quite a good skill actually. Definitely a top 10 skill. It's not an elite special skill, but its potential is right around there of a coin frenzy. So having the Dash Ring, and you can get that in the middle position, it just increases your scoring potential across a number of positions, since of course in those middle positions the chance of obtaining a frenzy is more likely than when you're front running a track, although then you are not perhaps collecting all the track coins because you're engaged with the bots. So there are definitely some inferred and implied things by being in that situation, but Dash Ring, very good. Multiplayer, not so hot, but great looking ult too, right? I mean, for a Mario character, this is one of the better ones. Really nice looking costume. So they did a very good job here. Starting value is 8 tracks, okay? And let's break this down the way that we always do here. And all 8 of which are assumed value. That's really good. Mario Aviator's doing really well. And I have more good news for Mario Aviator. Only 25% coin box overlap. Yay! But we have to pump the brakes, because there is the B word, right? And that is boomerang. Boomerang comes in and destroys 3 of the 6 non-coin box tracks. So between coin box plus boomerang overlaps, he is over 50% overlap. So that's the thing, you know, Now, his ranked usage is quite extraordinary up front. We see the Calamari Desert 2 RT, that is week 1. Sky Garden, the normal variant, is also week 1, brand new paywall track, no elite special skill there. Of course, on the Calamari Desert 2 RT, there's Kamek, as well as Kangaroo Yoshi, and as well as DK Jr. So, I mean, there's just options aplenty there. In week 2, Rock Mountain Tea, we're going to be talking about that, folks. Big stuff going to be on the channel here for that one. But no elite special skill there. So, you know, of course, you all know that I'm using Funky Kong on that track. There's Dry Bowser, who's also equally as good. And super option Boomerang Bro. Given the action count potential on that track alone, not on the level of Dry Bowser and Funky Kong or any of those other high ends like King Boo Luigi's Mansion. Who can believe we're talking about him, right? Needs more love and attention in the game, that's for sure. But, you know, part of, you know, the downside of the value is, yes, Rock Mountain is here now, but we know that it goes 6 months or so. It can go, you know, double-digit number of tours before being seen again. So that's a problem in terms of its value, but we see it has more recent tracks other than that. So a mixed bag for sure, but mostly positives, I will say, on Mario Aviator. Dash Ring, I wouldn't say it's the best of the rest, since, you know, triple bananas. Bowser's Shell is definitely, I would say, above that of the Dash Ring. But then you really have to look at Dash Ring. You know, there's Dash Ring, Triple Mushrooms, and the extremely underrated Banana Barrels. But I know folks don't like racing with those, even though I do. And it does require a little bit of skill and adjustment to acclimate to that. So let's talk about this thing. The prop car. I saw this, I was like, whoa. Took me back to my Diddy Kong racing days. I was thinking, man, you know, look, you know, it's nice. It's a nice set with Mario Aviator, but it would be nice to see the respects paid to Diddy Kong in this game, you know, before it's all said and done. I'm not saying, like, look, it would be great to have that this year, but, you know, they can do anything they want. Look, that character has been absent in a lot of Mario Karts. It was nice that they introduced him to Mario Kart Tour, and the airplane is a significant part of Diddy Kong Racing. So when I saw this, kind of tugged at the heartstrings a little bit. I was like, could we see this in a free pipe? That would make me happier than pretty much any other free pipe that I've seen. But in terms of the value here, it starts off with 9 tracks, Jump Boost Plus 2, which has really good implied value. As I've often talked about karts, the bonus points earned multiplier, you want that on tracks that have significant action counts, right? And we look at Rock Mountain Tea, that's 200 plus action count very, very easily. With a double frenzy run, triple frenzy run, you can be pushing 230, 240, which is quite extraordinary. And, you know, a lot of trick tracks we see here. Maple Treeway T with the level unlock, Mario Circuit 2T, Calamari Desert 2 RT, so T, right? And then we also have Rock Mountain R, which is sort of like a T track based on its layout. That's one of the debates in the community, why we haven't seen an RT track, because it's kind of hard to make an RT track for Rock Mountain, since the reverse version itself is very much like a trick track. So a lot of great things about this kart. It does have quite a bit of Rambi overlap, so it's not like I need this for my inventory, but just stylistically, just to imagine Diddy Kong racing in this. Although I saw over on KartLife's screenshot challenge, some people took it upon themselves to show Diddy Kong in this kart, and I loved all of those photos. Maybe there will be more now that I'm talking about it here. Go participate in his screenshot challenge and become a sharpshooter. So I did that once in the past. It was a lot of fun. So the value on this thing, another thing that I should talk about, credit to Bolt for helping to collect this data and information. He's a wonderful collaborator, certainly improves the content on this channel to a great extent. So just giving credit to Bolt here. The 9th ranked hitbox according to Tabor's algorithm. So that's another positive thing that goes along with this kart also. So 9 tracks of starting value, tied for number 1 in terms of karts. Really, really good. Has the same 3 ranked tracks, the 2 in week 1, as Mario Aviator, and the one in week 2 identical distribution there. So I think out of all the items, it's the prop cart actually which presents perhaps most favorably out of all of this. And then we have the Sky High Flyer. Interesting, Bob-omb Plus, a little bit aggressive there with you know, references and whatnot, but we're not going to dwell on that. What I will say is that it's starting off with 8 tracks of value. It's right in the middle. I say this a lot with these gliders. And look, this one suffers the most from having old track syndrome. I'll just OTS, right? For short. Yoshi Circuit, I mean, come on. Along with the Rock Mountains, there's so many high ends. So for this thing to really obtain value, another thing that Bolt had referenced to me in this is that it has 3 overlaps with the swooper. So for myself personally, the swooper is my pathway for high-end daily selects tickets in that shop. So you know, what are you going to do with this glider, right? It certainly needs better buffs, so we'll need to have more of the buff in favor to really have significant value for folks out there. So the rankings here, definitely feeling strongly about the cart. But all of this is contingent on the upcoming tours. We don't have a 3-tour celebration. There's no news on what the next tour will be. We know that Mario the 10th or Mario 10, whatever it's called, will be encompassed in the next tour. So perhaps will there be a 3rd Mario alt in a row? That remains to be seen. Maybe they'll have a different character, share the spotlight, and then have returning Marios as part of a week 2 spotlight. That would be a nice touch as well, but it could be a city tour too, since Mario is commonly themed with the cities, and we have been given a steady dose of cities. It's been exciting and a lot to navigate there. So that's my analysis of the Sky Pipe for week 1. Now let's just take a brief look. I'm not going to go into significant detail on these things since I will be coming out with a special pipe analysis. There will be a deep dive, and this pipe is going to be enormous, and that is the 8-bit pipe. So there is a spotlight. It's known that the record setter, I believe it's called, let's scroll to find it, and here it is, right above the swooper. So the record setter starts off with 8 tracks of value, and I'll present the projections and whatnot as you are accustomed to seeing here on the channel. Unique animation. This is a spotlight in that 50 pipe. So if you have 225 rubies, you'll be secure in obtaining this glider, which is very good. But alongside of that, they have the other 8-bit gliders, which have been all paywall locked and whatnot. So we have this one right here, the Super Mushroom. Has pretty new, but I mean, look at the tracks already. Astronomical growth that it's seen, as is the case with a lot of these new items. And a couple of the powerhouses from early to middle last year that really acquired so much value were constantly in the top 10, the top 5 of Tabor and Studfit's Rundown series. Last year, where are they? Are they at the bottom? They might be at the bottom. No. Okay, so here we go. The 8-bit Bolt Bill, and this one is just enormous. Definitely has some top level value for sure. It was right up there with the Black Great Sale for some time. And then there's also the 8-bit Fireflower glider. So, wow, a lot of tracks. Looks like a few more nitros to kind of pad this out, but they also cover a large number of these assumed value retro courses, the ones that are not locked behind specific events and tours, which we'll go into all the detail that you're going to be looking forward to and wanting to know, should you pull on that pipe? Very likely that's going to be a pipe that you want to pull on. So that might alter your consideration with using your hard-earned rubies on the Mario Aviator set. These items could see return spotlights, since we know the week 2 pipe has 12% high-end odds, and that includes Kamek's entire set and a couple of new Zoom Room cards, but we'll save that for week 2. And let's go into the rank mode here. Taking a look at things, Sky Garden, my loadout, not so good. We have the Paywall Warriors here, Peach Explorer, Rosalina Tanuki, Vampire Luigi. When you folks remember those value alerts I was putting out, boy oh boy, you have been laughing to the bank week in and week out if you took my advice on those. I don't have any of those because I'm very conservative in my gameplay, and that kind of progress I base on a very specific niche that has been very successful, and it allows me a lot of control and freedom in how I choose to play, and just kind of presents the different kind of outlooks that we can have in constructing strategies that range from truly competitive to casual with competitive mindsets and whatnot. So we have middle shelf coin box though, that's always welcome to see. And this is where it gets real. Bottom shelf cart going with the Ramby runner. One thing I do want to draw emphasis to, and perhaps in part because I gave all that information in the detailed look, I didn't have a deep dive. I provided the odds on my community tab. If ever there's a change in my upload schedule, take a look at my community tab on YouTube and get the latest word there for any updates that you may need to hear. The Cupid's arrow, right? Couple of track buffs here, got the brand new track, and one thing I always talk about is these special pipe items get the paywall buff in favor early in their lifespan. Look at how much this stuff is just reified, time in and time out. I have gone through all the data. I know the trends, folks, and you know, use this information to your disposal. We're very cutting edge here, and you can choose to use that information however you want. There's no clear, defined answer that I tell people what they have to do. That's up for your own interpretation, and I think it's best that way. Since there are just so many different kinds of strategies out there, I love to hear from your strategies and some really innovative approaches that impress me for sure. And here we have a bunch of, so there's the 8-bit and then a couple of paid ones and the special pipe, and as well as the week 1 pipe. So a wide diversity of options there. I have middle shelf options here. Let's just see what the combo time is. That is 10% and 10% for the level 1. So in this case, I would go with the farts, the silver and gold hearts there. So pretty looking loadout. I've said this before. I know I've looked at the same loadout and I'm like, oh, that's really pretty, but it's like, that's the silver lining, right? That's the silver part of the hearts. So if I have to comment on how it looks aesthetically, you know I'm having trouble with that one. Okay, so Yoshi Circuit RT coin box track. I have Pinkle Peach at level 3, but we're gonna go with Mario since it is the Mario Cup. He is boosted here. As we take a look here, this is how that works. When the cup is named after the, actually is this, okay, so this is a level 6 unlock actually, and this is something that we can expect to see when level 8 comes out, though I do think that's going to be exclusive to high ends, getting that one additional track of value. So if your Mario isn't level 6, he would be top shelf anyway, just by virtue of the Mario Cup. You're going to see it right up there. So that's how that works, and I'm going to go with Mario here. Lower action count, but so many levels over Pinkle Peach, so it's a no-brainer. Especially because my top card here is a tiny little hitbox. It's an egg one. So this is actually my coin limit break track, and I don't limit break with the egg one. It's so bad. The bonus points from level 6 doesn't even matter. I go with the zucchini here because the coin box is just, hitbox is just that much bigger. And that really goes to talk about some really cutting edge stuff that competitive members in the community, we all bounce around in the various chat groups, some really high level stuff in there. You can be a whole level below your highest level cart, and if the hitbox is that much larger, you're going to be scooping so many more actions from your coin boxes that that level is negligible. It doesn't even matter. You go with the bigger hitbox in that case. Certainly when there's wider gaps, such as that with Mario and the Pink Gold Peach, if you had that situation for a cart, you go with your small hitbox. But in this situation, since I'm not playing for hitbox with Mario, just Fire Flower, we're going to be playing for coin frenzies, egg one all the way, all day. And then we have this question mark block glider, tier shop item. Really good loadout, actually. I could probably get a significant score there. I've been considering what to do, right? With my own ranked mode, like, should I take another week off? But the loadouts are so good, especially as we see here. DK Jr., I don't have, oh, wait, whoa. Okay, so I do have a cart Forgot about this. The Wild Slugger, actually a lot of Kong overlap with this. We see the Dixie, we see the DK Jr., we see the DK. Yeah, so some Rambi overlaps though, quite a few Rambi overlaps. So it's not all a pretty picture there. Not one I'm going to invest in. I'm very happy. So there's so many good things about having control of your game, right? It's like you can't, those folks out there who might watch me and be like, oh, he's not competitive because he doesn't play every week like he needs to win it. It's like, yeah, why would I waste my investment and get a low ROI on that? It has terrible overlap with my best cart, and then I'd have a harder ranked week this week. I wouldn't get the reward this week, and now it's probably going to be very fair and comfortable to do that. So I actually have all top shelf now. I was remembering the original Calamari Desert 2 RT where I didn't have the cart. Makes a big difference actually. It's about 2k points difference, 2.5k points difference. It depends on the actual action count, but I do remember calculating it for one of these courses. It could have been this one specifically as well. So pretty big deal there, and 711 loadout, not likely to invest into either the cart or the glider. So that's where I stand on this week. Loadouts, a mixed bag. That's usually the way free-to-play looks. Holding tier, and we're just dumping resources on the mountain. It's like Mount Kilimanjaro over here. Hopefully it doesn't get to Everest by the time the new Kong content comes, right? Feels like we might, to some folks it might look like it's Mount Everest, but I'm going to call it Kilimanjaro right now. Anyway, we have Rock Mountain, speaking of mountains, and this is the one, folks. This is the big one. And I will just leave it at that because it is big. We have Funker, level 7, 1400. I did that with this in mind, of course. And we have the Rambi Runner, level 6, 700. You know that's going to level 7 automatically, especially because level 8 is being introduced now. So all of that trepidation I had, like, oh, maybe I'll wait to take the Rambi to level 7 in case it's a return spotlight. Well, now if it's a return spotlight, hey, we'll just contribute towards level 8. Perfect. So no fears there. That's one of the benefits of level 8. I mean, we'll be talking about the benefits of level 8. I'm not going to just dump it on everybody now. I know that there's a huge shock factor, but I'm excited. There's a lot of great stuff with it in that regard. So then we have the Swooper, totally maxed out, 700. So this is going to be a max loadout. I am projecting 57k, although crazy, one of the big supporters of the channel here, he was inspired by seeing my approach with using favorite drivers and investing them into high action count courses. He did this with King Boo Luigi's Mansion, got the triple coin frenzy with minimal stress. I'm so jealous. 58k is what Crazy got. So that's really cool. That's going to be the number to beat. I think his action count number was 234. We'll see. I know my last one I think was 214, but that was a banana frenzy, and I don't take the optimal line. Maybe I'll push my skill a little bit, see if I can get there to the optimal line. It's very difficult, but I like to go for the comfortable check down, and I know I can get a very, very cozy score by doing so. We'll see it here. You're going to see it here too, folks. I will bring you my high score run from this track. I might even start in week 1. Yeah, I'm beaming about that one. That's great news. Here we have Lakitu Party Time. A lot of folks are going to have access to him. He's been in a number of pipes. Kangaroo Yoshi, going to make a lot of folks happy seeing that buff. And also going to make some folks probably unhappy, maybe similar to the DK Jr. But particularly in the case of Yoshi Kangaroo, because the boomerang really is destroying niches. So, you know, look at double boomerang overlap too. So maybe, you know, I don't know if they watch the content here. If they don't, hopefully they're coming to these realizations on their own. I mean, surely they must, that these items are top tier, if not outright broken, and within the metagame that it is, right? I mean, just being real here. I like these drivers. I don't want to take anything away from them. The fact that they are as good as they are, they should have just those select few tracks, just like Coinbox. I know a lot of folks out there agree with me on that, and that's the pathway moving forward. But boy, oh boy, the amount that they have invested into Yoshi Kangaroo, it's going to take a lot of buffing of these conventional skills to equalize any of that. Carrot Cart, what a resurgence. This cart was hot garbage for the longest time. How many new tracks has it gotten? It's gotten RMX Rainbow Road to RT, Maple Road Treeway, rather, RT. RMX Ghost Valley 1T. This is a lot of paywall tracks for a kart that is very old. Kind of reminds me of Rosalina Halloween. They are placing attention on some of these older, perhaps maybe rare items. Maybe they're expanding their analytics to say, okay, among the players still playing, still active, what are the rare items, even among the older generation? Because I feel like in the beginning it was like, okay, the most players were at launch, right? So it's like everybody has a lot of those original drivers, right? Like Pauline and Hakama Mario and, you know, Pink Gold Peach, who's been given away for free as Hakama. But anyway, I feel like those have been avoided to given the paywall favor too. But then you get to things like this Carrot Kart, which obviously probably debuted in the City Tour. There's the 2 new carts in the Week 2 pipe. We'll go into detail on that. Just take a quick look. I did do a little bit of an impromptu live stream, so join the Discord. We had a lot of fun, actually. I did some multiplayer, gave some tips. Got a multiplayer win with Bottom Shelf Diddy Kong. That was really fun on the new Sky Garden. So had a lot of fun doing that. But anyway, starts off with 7 tracks of value. You know where I stand on that. It's going to need a lot of buffing favor to catch up on that, as well as this one. Also 7 tracks of value. Does have the Mini Turbo Plus, but same kind of deal. Given that that pipe is so high-end loaded with a coin box, I don't foresee that being a pipe that they feel the need to incentivize players or to show good faith for people who pulled on that pipe, given the amount of value that already exists in that pipe, right? It's not like the one where they're trying to sell you Funky Kong and Dry Bowser twice for the Rambi Runner, right? Or the Bowser Pirate Jr., which I believe is now a standard high-end, as was the case with the Silver King. So this is a real bona fide 12 high-end pipe, I would say for sure on that one. So middle shelf glider here, not a great loadout, but I mean, look, you know, the 57K or whatever we're gonna get with Funky Kong, that alone is gonna get the new Shy Guy. I should go over that too, since I know that is an important topic. Probably won't have time to give it complete justice on this one. At some point in the future, I may do more of a specific look on ranked supers. There is a lot to talk about there. I'll just provide some brief context to, you know, what the comprehensive side of that analysis could look like. Here I have Kamek, and we have Zoom Broom and Dream Glider. So this is the complete Kamek set that we pulled for the last time I pulled on the pipe, all the way back in August. Can you believe that? Wow. Anyway, yes, ranked super. So here we go. Top 5 slots for tier 50 and up. This may be staggered a bit differently if you're in a different tier threshold, like if you're tier 40, tier 30, tier 60. Those are just a few of the different ones. So there we see it has the ice flower, pretty insignificant. It matches the color. It was going to be that or Dash Ring. They gave the Mario character Dash Ring. Starts off with 5 tracks of value, but these things have enormous value. Yellow Pit Crew Toad has acquired 20 tracks, nearly all of them assumed value, and yes, these are the old tracks like the Rock Mountain, Frap Snowlands, Luigi Mansion. So the value for this particular one is kind of rough, at least that initial value, right? And the skill. But some of these have really acquired very good value that they rival high ends, even with the lower scoring potential, although that is mitigated in the case of Yellow Pit Crew Toad with the Giant Banana. Can kind of be on par with general high ends, especially as a great budget option. So these things are worth kind of planning your strategy around to a small degree. I don't advocate falling in with FOMO. Do not pull for these ranked drivers. The way to strategize around the ranked drivers is to control your ecosystem, right? Sandbag the week before, and then you get easier ranked pairings. That's how it works, and you can practically guarantee that you will achieve and receive these drivers if you do so. And look, you know, there's hits and misses with these things, and we don't know until it's upon us, but it keeps your options open, and it also keeps your resources accumulating, right? Because if you get no rubies from sandbagging, that's better than dumping hundreds of rubies in and then being net rubies because you pulled, and then you're only going to win 40 if you win that ranked mode. So anyway, let's do today's challenge pipe, and we have Tanuki Mario. So we're getting our first race with Tanuki here. Very nice. Kind of like the texture on that. Pretty cool. I was talking about Mario on the texture, but I know the texture has been a point of discussion. Oh, we have a Tanuki leaf. Yeah, that's like the bubble, isn't it? Everybody was upset about that. I had very little control, it seemed like. That was my first time experiencing that. Minor control, it's kind of like a bullet bill, I would say. I wouldn't say it's like bubble, per se. Feels a bit more like a bullet bill. But that might be splitting hairs, honestly, between those two. Certainly there is a drawback to that, but look, you know what? You've seen me with characters that I really enjoy, that have skills that are considered, you know, quote-unquote trash in the community, and of course talking about Diddy Kong and Funky Kong with that banana barrels skill. And my conclusion is that where there's a will, there's a way. I have made banana barrels a competitive skill. I would rank it within the top 10. It's certainly very good. It can eclipse the value of a coin frenzy, so that's certainly not trash in my book, which is literally impossible if you're using something like Heart, which is obviously top tier in multiplayer, but you know, there's other skills that aren't top tier in multiplayer that also have drawbacks, such as like the flower skills, and you know, like double bob-omb can eclipse a coin frenzy, but it's so rare, especially because the wreckage is so great. You really only get one wave of hits, and then you're so far ahead that it doesn't happen anymore after that. So let's see, what did we get? I didn't see my totals change, so I guess we're gonna get something else, but sometimes they throw a curveball at me. I don't know. Just when I think I have this figured out, no, they did give an item. So I think I do have it figured out with regards to them showing the pipe before you get it with the totals, but for some reason, maybe, I don't know if it's operating system based or something within the code might delay it so it doesn't show up, because there have been a few times where I didn't see it, and I'm always curious as to why. What's the rule to those exceptions? Anyway, here we are. Should you folks pull on this pipe, well, there's an amazing special pipe, a lucrative week 2 pipe, although those things have been in many pipes lately, particularly Kamek, an extraordinarily high value pipe. So but if you're brand new, if this was your new tour, if you came in from the Mario Kart DLC news, those of you that recently started watching the channel, subscribed, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you love Mario Kart Tour. It's a lot of fun, and this would be your chance to get Kamek then. So would you want this Mario Aviator? It's only a 6% high-end pipe. He'll return, undoubtedly, and Mario sometimes has very lucrative week 2 pipes just like jam-packed with Mario. So really it's that cart, and I'm thinking about Diddy Kong, and I'm trying to envision this prop cart in a free pipe. Oh, I could really lose my stack if if we pulled that. It would be like jaw hitting the floor. So can we be so lucky? Doesn't appear to be. It doesn't appear to be. Okay. They're like, hey, Kevin, are you sure you don't want to max out your normal gliders? One last chance. Okay. Okay. Another green pipe. Oh, that's disappointing. That is disappointing. I had visualized the prop cart in one of these, and it didn't happen. But that's okay. What that means is that Nintendo needs to go back and look at all the feedback that we sent them and say, hey, folks who play our game really would love to see this character that we've long obscured, Diddy Kong. Let's do a prop cart recolor and introduce it alongside a Diddy Kong alt. Boy, that would be a 10 out of 10 tour, hands down. Anyway, this tour is really cool. I hope you will enjoy a lot of exciting content, jam-packed. I mean, it's going to be wire to wire. at least by my upload standards are concerned. And then we have next tour, and I don't even care what the preview shows because I'm going to be combing over so much data and soaking it all in like a sponge to see what actually occurs when that love light occurs. And we have all of the things that we know based on the existing framework of Mario Kart Tour. All of the data has already been crunched. Check out my other video, card in the title above. Thank you all for the support. It means the world. Like, comment, subscribe. Take care, and best wishes to you all. Have a good one.